wasn't really any build up, and when we got to it, it was like, oh, okay, right. I mean, as good of a job as Christopher Lee does, how the antagonist is written just makes him just very underwhelming and not worth caring about. I like I like the lightsaber duel between Count Dooku, Obi-Wan, and Anakin, and the one that follows, which is Yoda versus Count Dooku. Although it is kind of it is very much out of character for Yoda to just go swinging into combat like that. But in a prequel, I wouldn't be entertained. In a prequel to Star Wars, I want to be as entertained as possible, and it is pretty entertaining, even if he is just like a CGI blur bouncing around. But I like the fight between Count Dooku, Anakin, and Obi-Wan. I like that we see Anakin's impatience, and I think that's a good thing with this film. In the fight between Count Dooku, we see Anakin's impatience. We see how he just runs in, gets blasted with electricity. So, I feel like we do see a bit of how Anakin. We do see Anakin. I think from this we are seeing a little bit of Anakin's journey as to his turn to the dark side in a bit, like in a very powerful scene. My favorite scene of my favorite scene of the film, actually, when he finds his mother dead. I love the raw emotion in that scene, and I just spoilt it. I try to avoid spoilers. I'm so sorry, guys. I can't edit my videos, but in all honesty, with the Star Wars prequels, you're not missing much. I mean, just on the overall scale, you're not missing much. But I think there's a lot of raw emotion with that scene. And I think we can see in this film that with Hayden Christensen not good as Anakin Skywalker at all. In fact, very much, just not good at all. But when he's not talking, when he's just simply showing raw emotion, he's very good. He's very believable. And I gotta talk about the romance. I mean, the romance is just so horrid. I mean, there's no context. There's no background context to it. Like in the Phantom Menace, we don't really. At no point do we see Padme showing any affection for Anakin, nor Anakin showing any affection for Padme. They're just sort of awkwardly talking to one another. Same thing with this film, really. They're just sort of awkwardly. It feels awkward because of how bad the dialogue is, but just talking back and forth, nothing really happening, nothing really clicking. And then there's the whole scene of I don't like sand, the sand scene, and then they just kiss out of nowhere, and it's like up till this point it's just like just two pieces of wood delivering dialogue to one another, and there's absolutely no context, there's no background, it just happens. It's like, this is odd. I do like the scene that follows when they're in the darkly lit room with the fireplace, because I think there's a lot of that scene. If there was more background context to the romance and more to them as characters and better dialogue, that scene would be very powerful. That scene would be very, very powerful. So I do like that scene because I can see the potential in it. So all in all, Star Wars Episode 2, I would give it. I mean, when taking everything into account, I mean, Ewan McGregor's performance in this film too. From this film and episode 3, you can see he's the only one truly. It feels like he's the only one who's truly trying. So all things considered, I would give Star Wars Episode 2 3 stars, which is good for a prequel. I mean, it's watchable. It's watchable. It's entertaining in places, although like I said, the action scenes could have been handled better and done better. But yeah, I'd give it a comfortable 3 stars. It's watchable, but there's a lot of problems. It has a lot of issues. Yeah, so I'll be back with my review for episode 3 as soon as I can. I actually look forward to talking about that film, as it is the least bad of the prequels. So yeah. I wouldn't be in a rush to watch episode 2, but it's definitely watchable. It's definitely entertaining. So yeah, I will see you on my next review. Goodbye.